Good afternoon and welcome. Students, teachers, family, distinguished guests, and friends. We welcome you to the Summer 2017 graduation ceremony of the Language and Culture Center. The LCC is housed in the Department of English in the College of Liberal Arts and Social Sciences. I'm pleased to introduce the chair of the Department of English, Dr. James Casterly, who is with us today and who will welcome you on behalf of the department and the college. Dr. Casterly.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me in the back? Okay. It is my honor, and I might add my genuine pleasure, to welcome all of you to this year's Summer 2017 graduation of the Language and Culture Center. I welcome students, family members, LCC staff and teachers, and UH administrators and faculty. This is a joyous event. It is quite possibly, I almost say certainly, the best graduation ceremony at the University of Houston. It celebrates the achievements of a remarkable collection of students and teachers. In a world in which so many often seem determined to not understand peoples and cultures other than their own, you are an important counterweight. As teachers, you represent what is best in America. As students, you embody an openness to other languages and other cultures that you serve as a model for all of us. Your efforts to understand both the English language and American culture exemplify what is possible when human beings come together in a determined effort to expand human meaning and human possibility. But you are not the only ones who have undergone an education. We thank you for expanding our world and educating us about languages and cultures beyond our own borders. Indeed, you demonstrate what can be achieved by those willing to undertake risks and depart from what is known and comfortable. Today we celebrate your achievement, and we thank you for allowing us to be part of your lives and your intellectual development. It is with great pride in your achievements, the achievements of both the students and the teachers, that I welcome all to this year's graduation ceremony. Thank you.
We are delighted with our entire group of students, and now we're going to introduce our student speaker for the afternoon. The students in level 6, our student speaker will represent the senior class, the brilliant and beautiful graduating students of level 6. Mauro Sakabumbi is you know who he is. He is from the capital city of Luanda in the country of Angola in West Africa. He speaks both Portuguese and English. Having studied English in Luanda before coming to the United States, Mr. Sakabumbi placed immediately into level 6 in the LCC. He stands before you today as proof that that can be done. Before coming to the United States, he completed high school and 1 year of university in his home country. Now that he has successfully completed level 6, he has the necessary English proficiency for admission to Bauer College of Business at the University of Houston, where he plans to major in accounting. His teachers have recommended that he be the student speaker at today's ceremony. He is an excellent example of the kind of student we are privileged to have in our program. I am pleased to present our student speaker this afternoon, Mauro Sakabumbi.
Good afternoon, everybody. Ms. Tesh, teachers, students of the Language and Culture Center, and honored guests, welcome to our graduation ceremony. It is with great pleasure that I am here to speak on behalf of my classmates from level 6 and talk about a wonderful journey through this term at the LCC. Studying at the LCC was a wonderful experience for me, and I believe most students here feel the same way. However, my time at the LCC has been too short. When I was placed in level 6, I was a little bit skeptical about myself. I didn't think my English skills were good enough for level 6. I started thinking I would need to repeat level 6 during the fall to build my confidence, but during this term I learned a lot, and I think all of us did. Thanks to my teachers, I have not only improved my English, but also my confidence and determination. Corey, our grammar teacher, has made me embrace grammar in a way that I haven't done it in my own language. Anna, our listening and speaking teacher, gave me confidence to speak English like I've never done before, as I used to be shy when talking to native speakers. And Susan, our reading teacher, thanks to her vocabulary tests and assignments, it will be ludicrous to say that any level 6 students in here is at a loss for words. They have done an amazing job preparing us not only to pursue our education, but also our dreams. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate all level 6 graduates. I believe this is something we should all be proud of. After the heavy homework load, our MTEL test, our research paper, which we managed to turn in on time, to come to this wonderful ceremony and celebrate this wonderful accomplishment. It is sad that our chapter at the LCC has come to an end, but we just have to be grateful for everything this institution has done for us. For some students, like me, this is the beginning of a new chapter as we look to pursue our education in America. And I would like to say that we have a long way to go, with a lot of work to be done, many more research papers and essays, but with strength and dedication, I believe we will all reach our goals. We just need to keep our heads up at all times and our phones in our pockets. Last but not least, I would like to say thanks to the whole LCC family, from the director to the Call Lab program assistants, and everyone working at the LCC main office, for all the assistance and support given to us and for helping us adjust. As we part ways, I would like to wish everybody luck, my classmates, teachers, the whole LCC family, and especially to the students coming from level 5. You will need it. We don't know what the future holds for us, but we must have goodwill and faith that good things lie ahead of us. It has been a wonderful opportunity to have worked with all of you, and I will forever be grateful for everything we have accomplished. I will carry memories of the state of my life forever, and I hope you don't forget me either. Let's never stop learning and improving, because it's the only way we can grow. And when you grow as a person, you never grow old. Thank you.
Thank you, Mauro. You knocked it out of the ballpark. We're so proud of you and your well-spoken English. Our guest speaker this afternoon is Dr. William Monroe, Professor of English and Dean of the Honors College at the University of Houston. And just so you know, the Honors College was rated among the top 10 in the nation last fall. He earned a BA with highest honors and with special honors in English at the University of Texas and was inducted into Phi Beta Kappa. I think it's important here to note that Dr. Monroe chaired the organizing committee that brought a Phi Beta Kappa chapter to the University of Houston. He completed an MA in English, also at the University of Texas, and then earned a PhD in English and Literature from the University of Chicago. He has published numerous articles on various literary figures, as well as Primary Care, a play about Alzheimer's disease, and Power to Hurt, a book that was selected as Outstanding Academic Book of the Year by Choice magazine. In conjunction with his administrative responsibilities as Dean of the College, he teaches honors colloquia in contemporary American literature, and serves as the director of the Common Ground Teachers Institute, a collaborative endeavor between the University of Houston faculty and secondary school teachers that focuses on literature as development and social resource for adolescents and young adults. He is the founding director of Medicine and Society, a program and minor for UH students who wish to explore the issues of health and healthcare through academic courses, research, fieldwork, internships, conferences, and keynote lectures. Dr. Monroe currently serves on more than one board and is president of the board of directors of the Phi Beta Kappa Alumni Association of Greater Houston. Dr. Monroe has led study abroad student travel to Israel, Greece, Turkey, England, Scotland, Ireland, and Northern and Eastern Europe. He has been honored with the University of Houston Teaching Excellence Award. I could go on, but I think it is time for you to hear from him. I am pleased to introduce our guest speaker today and longtime friend of the LCC, Dr. William Monroe.
Thank you, Joy. I just have to say before I get to my script that when I first came to the University of Houston 30 years ago, I was invited to an event at my friend Ted Estes' house over here in the neighborhood. It was a sort of faculty-student mixer. And one of the students was married to a principal at Houston Grand Opera. And part of the program was to have that person perform just a little bit. So there was I don't remember what song was sung, but it was overwhelmingly beautiful in the way that Wayne's voice is and the songs that Wayne brought for us. And then after that, Ted turned to me and said, "Okay, Bill, now tell us about your dissertation." So I feel a little bit like that at this moment, but I'll do the best I can. I am very, very pleased to be invited for this graduation ceremony. I agree with Jay Castelli that this is one of the greatest things going on, not just at the University of Houston, but in the state of Texas and in the nation. I've been able to observe the good work of the Language and Culture Center and see how the University of Houston community has been the beneficiary of that work since I arrived on campus 30 years ago. At that time, I met Dr. Joyce Valdez, the founding director of the LCC, and was immediately impressed with her enthusiasm and sense of purpose. She was a pioneer, she understood the importance of the work, and she truly lived the mission. I've also observed the energy and commitment of the staff under the leadership of Joy Tesh, whose name suggests that the good work of the LCC is also happy work. And the connection that I want to call our attention to today is that between student success, the growth, liberation, and empowerment that is symbolized by this graduation ceremony, and a joyful life. The phrase that I want to introduce at the beginning of these brief remarks, and Dr. Castelli will recognize this as a phrase I'm borrowing from Kenneth Burke. The phrase is equipment for living. This phrase is appropriate, for I think that is in fact what we are celebrating at this graduation ceremony this afternoon. Now, it is of course not the case that we must wait until we complete a course of study to have developed equipment for living. We are literally born with equipment for living. My family was fortunate enough to welcome a new member. For my wife and me, a new grandson, 17 days ago. LG, as I surreptitiously call him, if you want to know his real name, you can ask me later, came into the world knowing how to nurse. Very important. and how to observe, experience, and evaluate his immediate surroundings. He also was born with the equipment for expressing himself, at least in the form of protest and dissatisfaction at being hungry or cold or tired or needing his diaper changed right now. LG has a 2-year-old brother named Pace. And when you look at Pace, you can see how quickly we are given more elaborate equipment for living from our parents and families, beginning with our very names. We learn to walk and talk. We learn about food, what is prepared and cooked and eaten in our house, not the same the world over. We also learn about clothes, what is worn, how, when, and why. At the age of 20 months, last March, Master Pace was in a tiny tuxedo for his Uncle Mark's wedding. And believe me, as he made his way down the aisle as a ring bearer, he knew that that tux was a special outfit for a special boy on a special occasion. What I'm trying to say is that our immediate families and extended families and their friends and our childhood friends, our tribe or village, if you will, however those concepts might be constructed, imagined, or construed, teach us various ways of getting along and getting on. We learn their ways, the highways, the low ways, the byways, the pathways. We get oriented and we begin our first journey. Now, we want to make a pivot here, and one of the great intellectuals of the 20th century, Edward Said, can be helpful as we turn. Said was born of a Palestinian mother and an American Army officer father in Jerusalem in 1935, then a part of the British Mandate. He is most famous for his landmark book, Orientalism, which inaugurated the field of post-colonial studies. Today I want to borrow from another of his books, one entitled The World, the Text, and the Critic, and to adopt two words and a distinction that can help us understand the importance of what we celebrate this afternoon. The words are filiation and affiliation, and both words refer to equipment for living. Filiation refers to those things that we learn and inherit from our parents, family, and ancestors. Affiliation refers to those things that we acquire by voluntary effort and hard work. Filiation is what you already are, the raw material of you, what you bring with you, what you are given. Affiliation is what you choose, what transforms you and puts you on the road to becoming. Affiliation is not what we are given by the accidents of birth, but what we seek out and what seeks us out, what and who we find and who finds us. The LCC, and really all of what we refer to as higher education, is about developing new connections, understandings, and sympathies. That is to say, affiliations. My own journey, which eventually led me back to the city of Houston, my hometown, included a, by your standards, small, but for me, a large and significant leap of faith. I sought out higher education not in a different country, on a faraway continent, but simply in a different state, a place where no one that I knew had ever gone. In this other place, disconnected from my family and friends, everyone still spoke English, as I did, and most, if not quite all, had family backgrounds, affiliations, if you will, similar to my own. You would be justified in thinking that I should have felt at home and well within my comfort zone. But I did not feel at home. I struggled with the weather, which was a lot colder and grayer than what I was used to. I struggled with a sense that my educational preparation was not equal to that of my classmates, and thus had not been adequate. I struggled with the expectations of my teachers, especially what they expected of my writing. And I received a D on my first paper. I confess that I did not recognize the letter D at the end of Dr. Butter's comments. Yes, I still remember his name. It was that traumatic. Because the letter D was not like any letter I had ever seen where my grade should have appeared. I was called a big dumb jock behind my back. And the only thing that I could be sure of in my own mind was that I wasn't really that big. The dumb jock part, I had to admit, in this new place might well be true. I could go on with disorienting moments and examples of insults to my psyche that confused my familiar way of making sense of the world. I could give you a longer list of things that threw me into culture shock, but frankly, enumerating that longer list would be like carrying coals to Newcastle, which is exactly the kind of witty British expression that hearing made me feel dumb at the time. In other words, it would be pointless and superfluous for me to do that. Or otiose, a word that Dr. Butters used to describe one of my papers, a word I had to look up. It means, in case you want to know, unnecessary in the extreme. More examples of the challenges that I faced would be pointless because, very simply, you have experienced so much more. And I am hopeful that you have benefited tremendously from those experiences. I only spent 1 year at that school that seems so foreign, so far away from home, but that 1 year has meant everything to me in my life journey. How much more has your time at UH and in Houston meant to you? How much harder have you had to work? How much further have you had to stretch in order to transform the sense of alienation, of being an outsider, into a sense of affiliation, of an energetic embrace of the unfamiliar, the strange, and sometimes, perhaps, the unfriendly and demeaning. And you have demonstrated this resilience, this grit, with the help and kindness and expertise of the staff and faculty of the Language and Culture Center. In the process, the LCC family has greatly expanded and enhanced your equipment for living. So, we commend you. We admire you. As educators, we would bless everyone, if we could, with your liberating courage, the grit to go well beyond your comfort zone, to give up the sureties of your affiliations in order to become stronger and more flexible and more free through affiliations and happy meetings in a new country. You have demonstrated not just the courage to be, but also the courage to become. I will close by paraphrasing a note of blessing that the author Flannery O'Connor, on her deathbed in 1964, wrote to a friend. May you be led toward those you are waiting for, those who are waiting for you, those you are looking for, so that you will not be as strangers in the province of joy, your true country. Congratulations to one and all.
Thank you, Dr. Monroe. You honor us with your presence here today. We congratulate all of our students today, students in levels 1 through 5, will receive their class certificates after this ceremony from their core teachers upstairs in the reception area. At this time, the LCC is pleased to award graduation certificates to the students in Level 6. I will first call the name of the section and the teacher, and we will call the country and the name of each student. As your name is called, please come forward to receive your certificate from your teacher. Remember, everybody in the room, the University of Houston accepts successful completion of Level 6 as proof of English proficiency for admission to all undergraduate programs and to a growing number of graduate programs at the University of Houston. The core teachers of Level 6 will give the certificates to their graduating students. In Level 6A, Corey Stewart. From Iraq, Mohammed Fatih Mohammed Bashar. From China, Zaifu He. From Vietnam, Thi Dan Han Lee. From Venezuela, Mario Andres Montero Guzman. From Vietnam, Dinh Bao Truong Nguyen. From Congo Brazzaville, Cecilia Didia Obama. From Angola, Mauro Lilo Miranda Sacabeza. From Mexico, Eric Vasquez Perez. From China, Zhujian Wu. The teacher in Level 6B is Susan McAllister. From Angola, Silvia Benita Delgado Alexandre. From Saudi Arabia, Ahmad Hilal Aharoui. From Mexico, Rosa Aurora Hansberg. From China, Jia Hu. From Vietnam, Dinh Hoa Tien Ly. From Vietnam, Ngu Thi Kien Phan. From Vietnam, Hoai Bao Truong. From China, Jianshu Wang. From China, Ziyi Yang. The core teacher in level 6C is Anna Lozan Hill. From Saudi Arabia, Raida Hassan Al-Sayed. From Colombia, Juan Esteban Carrero Herrera. From Vietnam, Phi Van An Khong. From Vietnam, Trong Thai Trung. From China, Yani Liu. From Cameroon, Harold Jiofang Baka. From China, Taipeng Su. From Thailand, Nutaya Tepudong. From Vietnam, Nguyen Quang An Trung. From Vietnam, Nguyen Tao Xuong Trung. From China, Jihan Yin. Congratulations to all of our Level 6 graduates. We wish you much happiness and great success as you go forth from this place today to begin your new journey. The LCC awards 3 full scholarships each term. The scholarships cover the full cost of tuition, fees, and medical insurance for 1 term of study in the intensive English program, and will be awarded to continuing students who have demonstrated outstanding academic achievement, leadership, and intercultural understanding. At this time, I would like to recognize the students who have studied this summer as recipients of LCC scholarships they received at the end of the spring term. When I call your name, I'm going to ask you to stand and remain where you are. From Thailand, Nutaya Tepudong. From Venezuela, Armida Carolina Moreno Diaz-Espinosa. And from Angola, Felipa Costa. Congratulations again. Many excellent students applied this summer for the Fall 2017 scholarships. After careful consideration of all the applications and teachers' recommendations, the difficult choices were made. We will now award the Joyce Valdez Scholarship. The scholarship honors the founder and first director of the Language and Culture Center and Professor Emeritus of English at the University of Houston. Dr. Valdez committed her professional career to cross-cultural understanding and international educational exchange, and will be remembered for leading the LCC through its first decade of outstanding service to international students. I am pleased to announce the winner of the Joyce Valdez Scholarship for Fall 2017 in Level 4B from China, Kanling Wu. The Joseph Davidson Scholarship honors the legendary director of the LCC, who served as director for 23 years and led the LCC through its second and third decades. Dr. Davidson will always be remembered for his inspiring leadership, his very high standards, and his excellence in service to international students. I am pleased to announce the winner of the Joseph Davidson Scholarship for Fall 2017 in Level 4C from Burkina Faso. The Brad Powell Scholarship celebrates the life and honors the memory of our beloved counselor and friend, Brad Powell. Brad was the program director of counseling and student services in the LCC. He loved the field of international education. He loved his work with students in the LCC. And as we give this scholarship named for him, his inspiring life is remembered and his shining legacy continues. He will never be forgotten. I'm pleased to announce the winner of the Brad Powell Scholarship for Fall 2017 in Level 5B from Equatorial Guinea, Irene Bin. Of our ceremony this afternoon, I wish to acknowledge our outstanding teachers and administrators, teachers, program managers, support staff, program assistants of the LCC. Would you please stand? Thank you for celebrating with us today. To all of our students, we again say thank you for a wonderful summer of work and study. I would like to remind our teachers that they do need to return to work tomorrow. But that for our students, at the end of this ceremony, the summer 2017 term in the Intensive English program of the Language and Culture Center is officially closed. We want the Level 6 teachers and the Level 6 students to remain and come to the front for pictures after the ceremony. We invite everyone to join us upstairs for our graduation reception. LCC teachers will be upstairs with certificates for students in levels 1 through 5. We ask, listen carefully, that students and guests remain seated And let the teachers leave first so that they can get up there and be ready to give these certificates. So we will ask student volunteers to come and help us with this, and we'll ask the teachers to depart. And we'll see you upstairs in a few minutes. The celebration can now begin. Thank you, everyone.